Hi everyone. My name is Jerry Wise, and I want to talk today about narcissistic parents, things that are pointless to confront them about. And I want to share with them, I think these are very important. I've been working for 45 years to help people get their family of origin out of them. And today I want to talk about some things that help you stay yourself while dealing with others who are toxic, particularly narcissistic parents. And one of the things I advise folks to do is to stop confronting when it's not going to make a difference. And I'm going to be sharing with you some tips at the end of the video I hope you'll listen for. And one of the first things I will ask people to avoid, there is not much use in confronting a truly either malignant or narcissistic parent. Typically, it does not change their behavior. The only things that really may change the behavior of a narcissist is consequences. Not confronting, not talking about it, not arguing about it, but probably more consequences. Or the fear of losing some acceptance from a crowd that they're interested in impressing. That may alter their behavior or way of thinking, but not generally pointing out things to them that they should be acknowledging. One of them is their narcissism, their dysfunction, their immaturities. Confronting a narcissist about their narcissism is typically met with denial, deflection, even aggression or anger, rage. They are unlikely to acknowledge or change their behavior if they're confronted about these things. And people will talk about, well, if they only knew they were a narcissist, then they would behave differently. I wish it would work that way. I wish insight could work that way for narcissists. But often they will argue about how that's not true. They will deflect onto other things and even get mad at you for bringing that up. Another thing that it's pointless to confront them about is your feelings. Narcissistic parents are generally unable to empathize or validate your feelings. Confronting them about how they made you feel can lead to further invalidation and manipulation. You're giving them too much information. Oh, well, if I know that this caused Jerry these kinds of difficulties, well, then I know I can use that in the future. So confronting them about your feelings is probably not going to go very far and not going to help in terms of the situation. Confronting them about their lies and deceptions. And again, we always feel like if someone's lying to me or deceiving me, well, then I should probably point that out to them. Unfortunately, to a narcissist, pointing out their lies often leads to more lies, more excuses, or more gaslighting. They rarely admit to any deceitful behavior. It is pointless to confront the narcissistic parent about taking responsibility. Narcissists have a hard time taking responsibility for their actions. Confronting them about their wrongdoings usually results in shame shifting or blaming the victim. You will end up getting blamed if you ask them to take responsibility. They'll turn it around and wonder why you don't take responsibility. Another thing that's pointless to confront them about is a lack of empathy. I know adult children of narcissists will sometimes try to confront their parent who's narcissistic, or complain to them about how the parent is unable to understand or care about the impact of their actions on others. Confronting them about their lack of empathy is often met with indifference and defensiveness. So it's rather useless to bring up their lack of empathy because they won't see themselves as non-empathetic and will not own that. It is pointless to confront them about criticism. Any form of criticism, no matter how constructive, is usually perceived as a personal attack. This can lead to retaliatory behavior and further emotional abuse. So confronting them about criticisms is going to cause the sky to fall down on your head, not theirs. It is also pointless to confront them about changing their behavior. Expecting them to change their deeply ingrained behaviors is unrealistic. Confrontations aimed at getting them to change are often met with resistance and defensiveness because they don't feel they should change. They feel they've made enough changes. They feel that you're trying to control them, and they don't understand the need for them to change their behavior. Now, some might say, oh, well, then you shouldn't set boundaries. No, you can set boundaries, but your boundaries need to be set in a way that they're not going to change their behavior. In other words, you don't go and say, okay, I want you to not ever rage. I think that's a great boundary. I think the chances of that happening are probably small, that they wouldn't rage. You need to prepare for what's going to happen if they do. And I would anticipate them doing that. And again, they would justify their rage even though it's abusive to you. I think it's pointless to confront them about their unrealistic expectations. Confronting them about their impossible standards and expectations is often results in them doubling down or dismissing your concerns. And again, if we confront them about, those expectations are just too crazy, you will not get very far in getting them to change or see things differently regarding that. It is also pointless to confront them about the past. Bringing up the past issues or grievances is usually unproductive. Narcissistic parents may rewrite history, deny events, or minimize your experiences, or edit, and as I say, rewrite history, they'll edit out things. They'll edit out their bad behavior and emphasize your bad behavior from the past. They will distort it. And so confronting them about the past usually does not get you anywhere. I believe it is pointless to confront them about fairness and equity. Confronting them about favoritism or unfair treatment can lead to more biased behavior and justification of their actions. Yeah, but Mom, you and Dad, treated my sister as a golden child. And that didn't seem very fair. She got to do everything. I got to do very little. How are narcissistic parents going to respond to that? Oh, you're right. I don't know why we did that. I'm so sorry. I understand what you're saying, and I can empathize with how you're feeling. No, you're not going to get that kind of response. You're going to get more biased behavior, and you're going to get a lot of justification of their actions. I think it's also pointless to confront them about boundaries. While setting boundaries is important for your well-being, directly confronting a narcissistic parent about respecting your boundaries often leads to pushback, anger, or attempts to undermine those boundaries. So I think dealing with them in a direct way and confronting them about boundaries usually is not useful. And we may want to avoid that. Doesn't mean we shouldn't set boundaries, but we can't expect them to be a in good faith partner about resolving and working out boundaries. It's just, you can't just go and explain that to them. They're not going to hear it. They're not going to agree with you. Lastly, it's pointless to confront narcissistic parents about their impact on your life. Attempting to explain how their behavior has negatively affected your life is often met with denial, blame shifting, or minimizing your experience. And so what are some self-differentiation tips? What are things that we can do differently? And all of these tools that I talk about in my video are part of the online program Road to Self, where you can learn how to self-differentiate and finally heal from family dysfunction. If you need help with any of these, I hope you will stop delaying and just join the program today. 1, needing to confront is a form of pursuit. And if you're going to pursue them, you're going to end up with that narcissistic punishment. And remember, needing to confront is often a form of pursuit. And I think it's important that we realize that dynamic. And I talk a lot about that in the program. Secondly, don't change them, change you. Don't try to get them to see how the system or how they relate affects your life, or has affected your life, or will affect your life in the future. They are just not going to see it. They won't understand it. They won't believe you. They will distort, gaslight, edit, rewrite everything that you share. So the focus must be on changing us and us becoming self-differentiated, stronger, detached, and self-confident. And I believe those are all skills that are important to learn and changes that need to take place within us. Thirdly, ask yourself, if they never change, if they would never change, what type of relationship would you choose to have with them? Would you choose to have with them? Choose that relationship. I hope you'll subscribe, like, comment on this video. Please join the program. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day and be wise.